Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Silent Hunter 5. When we last left, we were up in the North Sea. Whoa, zooming way too far out. Sinking British ships. On load, you can see that they are not around at all, and still don't have my clock up, but let's... Yeah, the clock is at least gone instead of right in the middle of the screen. Regardless, let's start that stopwatch. Yeah, there we go. So the plan, basically, we've got a full load of torpedoes, plus one in the reserve, no more external, and then 3 in the aft. And of course, after each aft torpedo shot, you've got to raise up and load the external in. We got about just under half a tank fuel. We're going to really be spending about 20% of our fuel, continuing looking for British ships to sink, and then we'll head on back to our favorite resupply harbor of them all, Heliogaland, which I think is, I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if I am or not, doesn't really matter. So let's set up a little bit of a patrol. I'm thinking this area is proven to be pretty productive. Granted, we just sunk 2 ships here and only 1 down here. But just looking at the terrain layout, I would assume more ships are going to be coming through this way to get to the east coast of Britain than up and around. So that is where we're going to send ourselves.
New waypoint, course 82.
And we'll go
Speed ahead.
half speed ahead. Absolutely, Dieter. All right. Oh, give me... There we go. We've got ourselves a promotion point to spend as well. And I'm thinking our good old torpedo man, Kurt Faust, we could do to boost some of this up. So we've got Warhead Specialist, longer range, higher damage, reduces the chance of firing a dud, and the reload time. I've never yet fired a dud. So I don't know if that's really a thing I should be all that concerned about. These dive skills, though, I mean, man, these are pretty awesome. And some sound coding, maybe. What I would like is, instead of a max speed increase, because I rarely ever, except when hunting, actually go flank speed, right? I would like to, I'm just going to take a little walk around the submarine while I'm mulling things over. I would like to have an efficiency boost. Come on. Come on. There we go. I think having an efficiency boost would be kind of nice. Oh, no, keep going down. Thank you. Let's see. Actually, can we... Chief Engineer Yosef. Okay, let's pull you up. So we can't actually give you any promotions. Oh, we gave him an Iron Cross, though. Wasn't really what I wanted to do. But hey, that's fine. Our Chief Engineer has been decorated. Well done. Probably could have given it to Dieter. Dieter would have been a better bet. The next Iron Cross we get, it's going to Dieter. So, yeah. We'll remember that for next time. Anyway, oh, no. I want to go... Well... Maybe... Let's see. Increase detection and response. Or increase its range. Maybe... I don't really ever use radar contacts, and that's me just being an ignorant idiot and not properly, you know, using my machine, but... no, but, you know what? We'll just boost your morale. My God. That really did nothing. How can you cook with this going on, man? It's ridiculous. Excuse me, Herbert. Alright. Well, let's get back up to the top deck. Yeah. and just admire the ship. She is a beautiful looking piece of war machinery. Alright, well, as much fun as these artistic jaunts around the ship are, I will be back when something exciting happens, so stick around. Alright, so, something interesting happened, but it's not exactly something we want to fight. So, I've burned through a little bit of our fuel reserve, trying to find this contact we picked up on sonar. And it's being identified as a merchant. But if you listen, old Benno here doesn't know what whale songs sound like. So I'm not sure if that was included in the Dark Horizons or whatever the mod is, or if it's included in the original game. Regardless, having whales in a submarine game, that is pretty cool. I appreciate that. So what I've been trying to do for the last little minute or two is get a visual of them. But it's proven to be a heck of a lot harder than I had thought. I mean, we don't have to go far, you see, to lose sight of our U-boat. And, I mean, it's dark up and below, so I can't see the whales, but they're definitely there, which is a cool little thing. However, it certainly has cut in to our fuel reserve, which is unfortunate. So, with us being at the 30% mark, pretty much, I could try and hunt down this other sonar contact we've got that's just out here. I have a feeling it's just going to be more whales. So what we're going to do is pop back up and then head on.
New waypoint, course 224. Returning to course. New waypoint, course 238. New waypoint.
Head on home back to Heligoland. And if we happen to pick up anything on the way, we pick up something on the way. If we don't, we don't. At least we'll be able to get a full fuel tank and a full rack of torpedoes. So, yeah, I'll be back when something interesting happens. And if I actually physically spot a whale, I'll be sure to share it with you guys. So, we'll be back later. Alright, so after a resupply to Heligoland, where we refueled, rearmed, and gave our bosun the Confident Commander perk to get our morale up just a little bit more. Not that morale was hurting, but it's always nice to have. We have come across a merchant vessel traveling 13 knots, way up in the North Sea. So, step uno, or I guess we're a German U-boat. Step eins is to go down to periscope depth. Come on, get myself around into position. Step 2, in my usual fashion, raise up the periscope. Well, it's kind of risky to do so. Alright, whoa! Whoa. There we go. Oh, come on. Alright, so there is tube 2 set to speed 3. And we should be able to submerge. We're already submerged. Look at us go. Yeah, bitte. Okay. So we're just going to get this shot lined up. And I have not ID'd the ship. It is identifying as a merchant. That is about all I know. And that's really all I need to know. It's a merchant and it's red, so it's going to sink. Here we go. We'll get that guy on the go. We'll get tube 1 ready at a speed of 2. And then we can hopefully... There we go. So either one of those 2 torpedoes should hit. We are just over 2 kilometers out. And I suppose we can adjust our course We'll adjust it to there. We'll just keep our eyes on the prize. That first torpedo is coming in hot. Should impact any moment now. She's definitely a big ship, whatever she is. And that is a confirmed hit. We'll wait for the second one. They won't have time to react. Come on. Haha. Let's go inspect our damage. So we've got another transport. This one is looking to be unarmed. Totally and completely. And we hit, I'm going to say, in the same spot with both torpedoes. So that should be a nice big gaping hole in the side of that freighter. And we can probably finish her off here with our deck gun. So let's get up to depth where I can open this door, realizing this time that it's a really bad idea to open this hatch while we're still underwater. There we go, we're in the clear.
Recharging batteries.
Thank you. Dieter, man that deck gun. Okay, good, we are doing that. Excellent. Never mind. Keep up the good work. We'll talk about your opinion on the war once this freighter is sunk. Now, in an effort and interest to make sure our shots actually connect, we will speed down to nothing. Right, you don't need to compensate for movement now, buddy. You can move it a bit to the left. Move it a bit to the left. There you go. That's a hit. That's another hit, although that was pretty close. I do say so myself. But now that ship is going under, and we can add it to the tally. So let's take a look at how we're doing. And we're halfway. I'm not sure if that actually counted, or if it's too far from the mission zone. I would hope it isn't. I would really hope that it isn't. So we can set course now for up here. Let's do that.
41.
Go ahead. Whoa.
Full speed ahead. Half speed
Half
ahead.
speed, please. And while we're doing that, well, the ship is doing that, we can admire the damage we've caused. None of our shots hit under the waterline, but it was certainly enough to just make the ship give up the ghost. And we can already see the aft end getting a bit low. It's generally a sign a ship is going to be going down. Man, that is... big hole in the side of that freighter. Zoom out a bit. Let's just increase time just a little bit as this thing shimmies herself slowly but surely to the great depths.
Tube 2, ready.
Excellent. So 2 torpedoes and a couple of shots. Perhaps that second torpedo was a bit wasted. In hindsight, we probably didn't need to use another expensive torpedo on this guy, but you know, I think it was worth it. Mainly because we were able to sneak up on this thing without ever knowing. And I have to say, I did this work off camera, but for the first time ever, this is history in the making for the good old history nerd. This was the first ship I tracked down that was a radio contact, and I intercepted and sunk with the help of radar or radio and sonar. This ship right here, will not be aiding and abetting those dastardly Brits in their war effort against the glorious German nation. Don't read too much politics into this, guys. Obviously, I'm role-playing. This is turning out to be a very quiet sink. There's been no extra explosions. Very little fire. It was only in the aft decks, and that obviously extinguished the moment it went. Well, not really the moment it went under, but as soon as it went under. Oh, and she's sinking quick now. Deathly silent. And slowly, quietly, going under. And of course, we're not going to follow this sucker to the bottom. Again, it's deep.
Depth under keel is 153.
Granted, it's not as bad as 500 meters, but 150 meter swim to the bottom might take some time. I mean, she's going totally vertical in this collapse, in this sink, this final journey to the depths of the Atlantic. Or it's not really the Atlantic. The depths of the northern coast of Scotland. Anyway, that was that. We will return to shipping and all the fun this has to offer. And I will be back when we've got ourselves a target. And my gunners were much faster than I was. Not too far from the location of the previous ship, we have stumbled across yet another transport. Or at least a single merchant ship, I would believe. And the unfortunate thing is we're already shooting at them, so they already know we are here. No sneaking up on this guy. How far out are we? Close enough that I'm going to want to dive down. Or I guess really far enough away that I'm going to want to dive down. Let's hit that periscope depth, guys. Get off of the guns, please. Alright, and it would look like this guy has dropped down to almost nothing. Tends to happen when a U-boat starts shooting at you. I guess you slow right down. Thank you for the save, computer. You're a real pal. One of the things I don't think I've complained about enough of this game is Uplay. I actually don't mind it. It's not all that bad. It's just annoying to have to load up Steam to then load up Ubisoft's Steam. But that's the world we live in. There's no point in, you know, complaining or arguing about that. Alright. Now, whoa, come on, just give me thank you. I guess I was just going to the map, so that doesn't really matter. Traveling at 5 knots, we're going 7. We can probably boost that up to 8 or 9, whatever it is when we get to the higher speed. Obviously, our battery levels can handle it, and we've still got about 80% fuel, so we're doing just fine. U-41, man. We're making history here. Let's open up that mini-map. I guess we'll adjust it like that. Let's get a look-see in. At least I know, with me shooting, and I'm thinking, judging by the layout and the positioning on the mini-map, or on the big map, and the mini-map, it's just really difficult to see with all the number tokens that are above it. We're coming into the front of the ship, and while we were shooting, it did not return fire, so that either means the captain of this freighter is a crafty bastard who wants to lull me in with a false sense of security, or far more likely the captain of this vessel doesn't have any guns to shoot back with. So, what? Left click to select and center the periscope on this unit? Oh my goodness, that makes life easy. Little realizations like that make my day. And also the realization that we might need to kick it up to emergency power here, although I've got a fair amount of room in my periscoping depths here to continually adjust the position of this. And we can see it's probably going to be more in line with 10 degrees or even perhaps 0 degrees that will get in line. Possibly even 5. 5 is looking like a good place to leave it for now. But of course, we're traveling towards it. So, you know, we'll have to keep that in mind. In fact, we can maybe slow this down a bit. We'll see. If I need to chase her down, I can always rise up now that we're closer. And get some good shots off with the old deck gun. And speaking of guns, I've done something that I never ever thought I would do. No, it's not shoot a person. Although I don't think I'll ever do that either. I've started playing World of Tanks, and you know, it's a fun game, and certainly now that I've got my Panzer IV, I quite enjoy tooling around and, you know, oh, that's not going to be a good shot. That is not a good shot. I certainly enjoy tooling around and shooting people with my tank. Who wouldn't? You know? But, man, that game, it is grindy as all get out. Especially, all I want is a Tiger. That's a horrible shot, too. I am just wasting torpedoes on this guy. All I want is a Tiger. That's it. That's like my dream World War II tank. And the amount of grinding you need to do to get that. Redonkulous. Especially when a lot of that grinding is in light tanks. And if you don't know much about World War II tanks, not that I'm an expert, but the Tiger tank is a big-ass tank. It sports an 88, the German 88, which was a flak gun on a tank, with ridiculous frontal armor and all these other things. It's a big behemoth. The geniuses in World of Tanks, not that I want to go after developers and take that route of complaining about, you know, what they want to do and how they're designing their game. But in the German tech tree, the best way to get to that heavy tank, the quickest way, is to go through a whole bunch of useless light tanks. And it annoys me. Because those things freaking they just explode with one shot, and it's frustrating. Anyway, just doing that base, just ranting to kill time. We've got the second torpedo coming in. That is another impact. So let's go check out our damage. And I do believe 2 torpedoes in the same place. I was convinced these weren't going to be good shots. They turned out to be great shots. This ship is headed directly for the bottom. Generally, when a solid ship like this becomes 2,
Surface the boat.
it's pretty much gonna go to the bottom. So we can see it's still listed as an active ship, and it's still listed as floating around, but come on, how's about come on, how's about we head this way? That sounds like an idea. Head up that way, keep going speed 3. We'll plop that down. Whoops. We'll get ourselves out. And up on deck. Up on deck. Dankeschön. Oh, there we go. Dieter, how's it going, man? Now let's go and investigate the way this ship sinks. So interestingly, as you can see on the minimap, she's still one piece. I don't think this thing's going to be able to recover. I really, really don't. She's done for. She's sinking. Going to the bottom. And it should be a pretty quick sink, too. I mean, really, when you open up a ship to allowing in this much water, it's, yeah. Yeah, it's done. We can see the front of the ship desperately trying to turn away. Desperately making an evasive maneuver turn. The rest of the ship, no. There's no hope. No hope whatsoever. You're going down. So let's speed up time. 32 times acceleration. This thing is still taking forever.
Tube 1 ready.
Thank you. All right. Well, it looks like with the loading of Tube 1, the front decided to give up the ghost and is like, you know what? We're done. We're just done. We're going straight for the bottom. The rest of the ship is convinced it can carry on. It can soldier on and make it to the nearest port, which would be, I guess, Lock U, possibly Scapaflow. I'm hesitant to suggest that it'll make either one of those ports. But she is still standing firm and tall. Perhaps they got watertight doors closed, some of the bulkheads closed off. I'm not really sure. In fact, I'm going to be totally honest. I think that might be what happened. Because this front, we can see propeller still moving. In fact, let's see. That is not really getting any higher out of the water. And this really doesn't look like it's getting any lower in the water. So, good work, crew. About face. And come on back. Oh.
Tube 2 ready.
We passed it. Did we? She must be going down. Yes. Really, all the game wanted was for me to just return. And now what I need to do is actually reset that course. Back up there. And now we can go back. We can go back. It's just, it was confusing me. It was just taking a long time. But then the U-boat returned and it was like, oh, you're back? Open up those watertight doors, guys. There's no hope for us. We're going under. And indeed now, it certainly is going under much quicker. Hitting that nosedive. Oh. And in my haste, I missed another explosion. I'm horrible. Absolutely horrible. So it looks like we may not have been the only one to hit this ship. It's got... Oh, I guess we were shooting at it. So perhaps a couple of our shots... In fact, I would suggest 2 of our shots actually did some damage here. So good on our gunnery crew. Well done, lads. But it was really the torpedoes that won the day on this one. And from 3 kilometers out, we weren't going to be getting accurate gunfire off the deck of a ship to actually sink this guy. So, you know, we had no choice. We had to fire 2 torpedoes at it. They gave us no option whatsoever. And this is what we were forced to do. We had to do this. However, we need to justify it, right? And she slips to her watery grave. Creepy but fun. I was, of course, talking about you, sir. Creepy but fun. Alright, well, while we're sailing, let's get to know the crew a bit better.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about going to war with the English and the French, Dieter?
I have family in England, my wife in France. It's kind of weird to think that, we're enemies now. Yes, sir.
I know you like to play pranks, but, please spare the first watch officer. He won't be amused.
That guy is so stiff, you could put a rudder on him and call him a torpedo. Okay, I'll lay off him. But somebody needs to pull that broomstick out of his...
Yeah, that's enough. I get the picture. He is who he is. It's not up to us to change him. Besides, he's got friends in high places. It'll only spell trouble we don't want. Because have you seen the guy? He's hardcore Nazi. Alright? Like, he's not someone we mess with.
You have my word, Captain. He won't even know I'm here. Yes, sir.
That's, not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is be careful around him, because he's the type of guy who'd let the Gestapo know about you, alright? Freaking, you married a French girl. That's not cool. Alright. It's good. Speaking of, we haven't even talked to this Nazi yet, so...
Captain, I would like a word with you.
Well, what's on your mind, Eric?
Captain, your crew has been... What an outrage! They have been insulting me behind my back. This cannot be tolerated. I insist you put an end to this lewd conduct, or I shall have it reported.
Yeah, Eric, here's the thing, man. I know you've got an eye patch, but you could at least look me in the eye. And then you didn't even let me respond. You just walked away. It's not how I like to run my ship, all right? So what do you think our chances are against the Royal Navy?
Is a matter of will, not fleet size.
Yeah, Triumph of the Will? Look, buddy, that was a movie, all right? And it had some amazing shots and stuff from airplanes, but come on, don't buy into it. It's the freaking Royal Navy. Besides, how much combat experience do you even have?
I graduated with honors from Norvik. That should account for plenty of experience. Besides, no one has ever questioned me before.
Yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, we've never been at war before. For example, I don't have to question, old email here. Dude, don't turn your back to me. Freaking Nazi. Email, how's it going?
Orders, Captain.
I have nothing to say to you. I don't even have orders for you, so you just keep looking at your maps, alright? Good work. Alright, hey radio guy, have you heard from that captain yet?
No, Heckalon, but I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Alright, I don't even know why we're waiting for Captain Ron, so just, keep that in your mind, brain place.
Jawohl, Heckalon?
Benno, you're afraid? Yeah, I know, that sucks. Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Jawohl. Jawohl, Heckalon.
How's it going, Kurt? Keep it up. Alright, just keep up the good work. That covers the front of the ship. Let's, you enjoy your nap. Let's hit the back. Alright. Where's my bosun? Yo, what's up?
Jawohl, Accolade. Regular, Captain. It keeps me sane. Otherwise, my thoughts would be raging in my head.
Yeah, that sounds kind of creepy. How do you feel about us fighting the Royal Navy?
I'm mortified. Of course, I don't show that, especially not to the crew.
Well, except for this guy right here who's eavesdropping on our conversation. But, what do you think the crew needs most at this moment?
The odds are so against us, we need to know that we can beat those Tommies.
I would suggest that you're correct. Absolutely, we do need success, but I'd suggest I've been providing that.
You want to try some of this stew, Captain?
No, it makes something other than stew, man. How you brought a violin?
But the bosun cut my strings, so there's enough noise down here.
So you just let him cut the strings?
That score isn't settled. I'll get him back somehow.
All right, just don't poison his food or anything, okay? What do you think of the new lieutenant?
You mean the pirate? He looks like a real stiff. But as long as he doesn't complain about the food, I don't have any problem with him. You
All
wanna
right,
try
well
some of
that's
this
good.
stew, Captain?
So I know you make stew all day long, but are you ready for this war?
Captain, Germany has suffered long enough. Time we fight back. You want to try some of this stew?
Okay, yeah, quit pushing your freaking stew on me, all right? It looks like it's just fish and carrot stew. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, I realize we're in a submarine and times are tough, but it's just not appetizing, man. Holy hell, this is loud. Hi, how's it going? I can barely hear you, so I'm just going to tell you to keep up the good work and you do your thing. Max, I got nothing to say to you either. You just keep up the good work and keep shooting things when I tell you to, alright? Good. Alright, that covers the crew. Everybody's looking happy. Everybody's looking pleased. Which is good. It's you know, we got bananas and we got like a pig. Some very thin strips of bacon. It's really more just like paper thin flesh on bone. That looks delicious. And then the bananas, you know, I'm all for creative food choices, but a leg of ham and bananas, give us pineapple. That'll be better with a leg of ham. All right, let's head up to the top deck. See what's going on. Yep, all the way up to the top of the conning tower. Smooth ocean. This is what I like, Dieter. This is why I joined the Submarine right here. All right, you don't play any pranks. We'll just enjoy the sailing. And I will be back when something exciting happens. And as usual, that does not take long. So just a little bit northwest of where I stopped recording, we literally almost ran into this guy. He's about 4 kilometers out. He's traveling 13 knots. So to catch this guy, it's actually going to take a little bit of work, but we can do it. We can do it. So 13, we're going to go 11. And there he is, just out there. Yeah, I know. I can see him. All right, this isn't a surprise. Kind of rough seas out. Perhaps the best course of action will just be to drive straight for him. What do you guys think about that? Should we get Max on the gun? I don't think that thing's armed. All right, Dieter. We really don't need to whisper right now. You don't have to yell in my face either. All right, we got our target set. How's the shooting going, Max? Yeah, that's a hit. Well done, sir. And that should be good. Touchdown! I really don't know why I said touchdown there. But those were the words that my brain chose to spit out at that moment. You know, Max, you've become a fairly good shot. From our days touring around the Baltic, sinking Polish freighters, you've come a long way, man. War's changed you into a better shot. I mean, it's changed you in ways I would expect war to change you. I don't get to interact with you on a personal level, so I don't know if deep down inside you're a traumatized wreck, or if you're a sociopathic killer and you enjoy this kind of stuff, or you're somewhere in between. But damn, man, you've become a good shot. Well, Max is happily shooting away at this. We'll just tone our speed down to slow. And we'll go investigate the damage we're causing on this relatively small freighter. Compared to the size of ships we've been sinking recently, this guy's kind of small potatoes. Have we got anything below the waterline yet? We do not, but we have certainly set this ship on fire, and really, that's all you can ask for. And still just lone ships. But I would like to take just a moment away from fighting the war just to show off, and I hope YouTube shows this up. And I realize I only upload videos in 720p and not 1080p. And, you know, that's purely so I don't have to sit there for half a day while a video encodes and uploads. But it's times like this, man, where this game just looks beautiful. So, I mean, you know, it's not night, but it's dark. You got the clouds up, you've got the waves that aren't too bad, but they're still there, and just how it all comes together. It's a very nice looking game. Oh, that would have been so good to have hit. I'm going to go out on a limb, though, and say this guy's already starting to sit kind of low in the water. I mean, it is choppy. Oh, that is what I'm talking about, son. That just did her in. Going to the bottom now, British ship. So let's check our progress. According to the mission, to see these little ships, they're adding to it, but what I want to do is come across 2 more of those big-ass freighters. 2 more of those freighters and we can get this mission done. Maybe 3. But, you know, ships like this, we're going to be putting a lot of torpedoes and a lot of shells into them. We got 6, 7 torpedoes ready for front. And how, pray tell, are our deck gun shots looking? Pardon me. Let me just take a look here. So we've got 17 high explosives and 120 armor-piercing rounds still. And no anti-aircraft shells. Ah, that is the view that I keep looking for. Now, we can't really zoom in, but we can... Oh, okay, so that's got to be the range. And so then we just keep that on that. And... so that's meters times 100. And that's going to be about a couple clicks out. So, okay, I'm getting this. I'm getting this. Next one we come across, oh, that is a zoom in, zoom out. So we can actually pick where we're going. I like it. All right, gentlemen. Let's go ahead, climb back up the conning tower. You can do it. All the way up. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Dieter, we can secure the deck gun. All right, thank you. And we are going to continue on. Heading up to the lucky spots.
Course 331.
Well, we're heading that direction. Head on up. You guys can go to speed 3. Why not? Why not? Actually, let's just check our systems. Oh yeah, yeah. We got half a tank we can run. Thank you. So while we're while we're maneuvering into position, we'll watch this guy slowly sink down. In fact, how deep is it out here?
Depth under keel is 549 meters, Captain.
So we won't be following you to the depths. Oh, there we go. It's these slow sinks. Oh! I missed a great shot. You can just see... our U-boat off in the distance there. Right, that is us. I hope it's us. Of course it's us. Sailing past our target. Let's see if we can get a good overhead view of that. Oh, we're just a bit too far away to make that a good shot. Anyway. I have to say, if I was on this ship right now, that would be pretty uncomfortable. I mean, other than the fact that it's going under. Just the way that it's jostling around like that. Man, seasickness would do me in. Although I've got to say, every time I've been on a boat, I have certainly enjoyed it, which is a strange thing to say. But when you grow up in a landlocked area where, you know, watercraft are basically inflatable dinghies or canoes or things like that, the chances you get to actually go on a real ship, even if it's just like a ferry, right? Like, what was it, last Christmas when I was out on the west coast of British Columbia visiting my dad out there for Christmas, we took a ferry to an island out in Georgia Strait. And man, like, just, it's impressive. Boats are impressive things when you think about it. The things humanity can build just for shits and giggles. All right. And sink, really. I mean, the things we do, we're a strange animal. That is for sure. And this guy's definitely going down quite quickly now. Spent a long time jostling around, and once it decided to go under, it gave up the ghost and went under. The flag flapping in the current. Little bits of cargo left behind. Pointed for its final destination. The depths. And as you can see, the depths of the sea. It's pretty deep. Pretty deep. Finally reaching the bottom. And it's pretty dark and uninviting. So we will return to our submarine, happily on the surface, and I'll be back when something exciting happens. All right, we got one lone contact out there. She is currently 5 clicks out. We're outside of visual range, which is just how I like to be. Now, the unfortunate thing is, while I was hunting this guy down, I kind of blew through my battery levels. I submerged to hit my sonar, and then I was like, hey, you know what? We'll just stay submerged while I travel around a bit. Not realizing that traveling submerged at roughly, 2,000 times acceleration is a little bit silly. That being said, we're close enough that we should just be able to get into position and then not really use much in the way of battery power. Although, actually, granted, we're not in range of the visuals just yet. We'll stop about there, I think. Is going to be a good positioning. And now it's just going to be a matter of waiting for this guy to get in range. And that's all. Whoa, that's all we really need to do. So let's get ourselves back on there. Come on. Give me control. Thank you. And yeah, we'll give me control. We'll leave this on 0 just for now. As we can see, it's probably going to come between the two, and I've got that set to the slowest speed possible.
Shut down diesel engines. Recharging batteries. Current depth 10 meters.
I'm impressed you're able to recharge batteries while we are submerged. Takes skill, man. All right. Coming in, and we'll stop it there. Give me periscope control. Thank you. Yeah, that's looking good. We'll get in nice and close into our 300-meter range. The range we like for lining up these simple shots. And what we can do is a good old-fashioned strategy of hitting him with a torpedo, raising up, and finishing him off with a deck gun. I think with this lone ship, who's not really all that big, that's going to be our best bet. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, you can do it. I've got faith in your ability to really sail right where I want you to. And Los! If I say Los, that means it's gonna hit. It's my lucky shot. Of course, isn't true, but hey, you gotta tell yourself something to survive in life. And that torpedo should be coming in nicely on course. Certainly looks like it is. And this is just another standard size freighter, nothing too big. It'll add to the score, but it won't exponentially add to the score. Or even... exponentially is not really the word I'm looking for there. But some kind of word that means big growth. Slowly ticking along. How's it looking? Oh, that looks good. That looks like a good shot. And come on, hit. Hit. Yeah! Right in the middle. I like it.
Surface the boat.
Drop periscope. Head up
Half speed
to
ahead.
half speed ahead, please. No, we don't want to go down. We want to go up, 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 up. Get ourselves out of the water much quicker. 8, 7, 6. You can hear that water rushing past. It's a glorious thing. Dieter, I want you to man the deck gun. Thank you, sir. There's our target. In fact, nah, you know what? We'll let Max finish this guy off here. And I mean, that wasn't difficult because I think
All
even...
stop.
Oh, no, we don't need to really all stop at that. I mean, that's fine. Even from the conning tower, I can see that hole. It's been miraculously repaired. If I get it from the right angle, it does show up. That hole will be sinking that ship, which is good because that's what we're here to do. Anyway, guys, I think I've gone on long enough for now. So as this freighter slips, whoops, resume please, slips below the ocean, we'll check. We're about 2/3 of the way done. So next episode, we should be able to finish this off and go back to the BDU and get another one. If we take a look at our torpedoes, we've got 4 in the tubes, 1 in reserve, and we've got, of course, that guy, which we'll load in now. Why not? And how is our fuel reserve? At a wonderful 69%. Our battery power is going to be coming up. We don't really need to worry about that because that'll always be fine. We got no new promotion points, so that's a bit of a letdown. But our crew's getting better. We've even got an Iron Cross awarded. So that's a good thing. And we've got our own Iron Cross too. So I kind of wish I was thinking and gave it to Dieter. Because I think Dieter deserves it. The next medal will go to Dieter. Not that Yosef's bad, but I mean, he really hasn't done anything yet. Whereas Dieter's worked his ass off. Him and his crew, well, along with Eric here and Kurt. Actually, Kurt could probably use one. But maybe that's just a promotion? I'm not really sure. Screw it, Dieter. There you go, man. You've earned it. We got a few more of those to give out. I don't really know what those do, so if you know, let me know. And thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very, very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.